Thank you. Thank you. Hi, welcome to Sports Star Challenge. I'm Charmaine Crooks.
And I'm Steve Podborski. Thank you for joining us today.
We have a great show lined up, don't we, Steve?
We do, Charmaine. To start off with, our Sports Star Challenger talks to, trains with, and finally challenges Olympic gold medalist Robert Esmie to a 30-meter sprint race.
Good luck with those hamstrings.
Oh, they're going to hurt after that.
And we'll also meet up with Vancouver Grizzlies head coach Brian Hill.
That should be very exciting. But then we head up to the mountains of Whistler. Olympic gold medalist Ross Rebagliati and I have a nice chat about what his life has been like since that gold medal.
And someone else who's very fast, Marybeth Harrison. She is actually one of the very few female Formula 1600 drivers who's also an Indy pace car driver.
Sounds good to me. And you may be wondering who this Jim Green fellow is. Well, he's a reformed couch potato who wants to take on the world, but his first challenge will be Robert Esmie.
And what a challenge that will be. I mean, we don't call him Blast Off for nothing, Robert Esmie. He's actually an Olympic gold medalist in the 4x100 meter relay, and Jim's going to take on this world champion. I don't know about that.
He's going to have his hands and his hamstrings full.
I think so. So when we come back, we'll meet Robert and Jim for a little one-on-one.
I want to inspire people, show them that you can dream, and that's what Blast Off is about. Dreams can come true, because I've lived part of it, but I'm not finished yet.
And the man with Blast Off on the top of his head. Robert Esmie of Sudbury is all set to do that.
You know, around you I've seen the words blast off. At the Olympics we saw blast off. Tell me a bit about that.
It's power, it's speed, it's confidence, it's everything. And when I carved it in my hair, that's what I want to portray, is all of that combined. And we had to win the race, actually, for it to happen. So we ended up winning the race, and everywhere I went after that, people said, blast off. They never knew me as Robert anymore. So now I'm trying to establish blast off properly so it can be international.
What a run, and the key may have been Robert Esmie blasting off out of the starting block.
Who was the mentor in your life? There must have been a person of contact, somebody that kept you going to believe in yourself, because that's so often what's important.
My mother helped guided me properly. So, you know, she was the mother, the father. She taught me how to do everything, wash, clean, cook, iron by age 9. So I pretty much know how to take care of myself.
What are those challenges, Robert, in your life? What are those hurdles you've had to overcome to get to where you are today?
Well, you know, rough neighborhood growing up back in Jamaica, losing the father, growing up quicker. I also, education-wise, you know, gentleman going in grade 5 in Jamaica came here put back in grade 2.
What is that one biggest challenge, and how did you overcome it? The thing that hit you in the face, the hardest that you had to deal with in your career as an athlete?
Learning about your body, understanding your body, what it's capable of, mentally and physically. And once you can do that, that's a challenge, is to understand it. And once you do that, you can mature mentally, physically, and everything else. If you don't know when to stop or when to continue, you're going to wreck yourself.
I find this so interesting, but we're going to go out in the truck. I'm going to have to give you a run.
A run?
We're going to race.
What, you want to go now?
No, we're not going to go now. We're going to go out the track.
Well, you challenging me?
I'm challenging you totally.
Do you know who I am?
I know exactly who you are.
I'm Mr. Blastoff.
I want to see exactly how fast it is.
But let me tell you something. I want one advice to show. Every man can start, but not every man can blast off.
Well, we're going to find out.
And they're off, and it's up to Robert Esmie to run the bend and make the clean exchange to Glenroy Gilbert, and he came flying out of the block. He did blast off.
Well, before we rejoin the guys, we'll head out to Mission Raceway to meet Marybeth Harrison, and she'll tell us all about her challenges both on and off the racetrack.
Well, Marybeth, why don't you give us some background about the levels you've gone to have to get to the point where you are today?
Well, I'm in Formula 1600 today, and in order to get here, I spent my first few years in go-karting, which is where a lot of the Canadians have started. Paul Tracy, Greg Moore, all started in go-karts. And from there, I moved up into a sedan series and spent a couple of years racing Toyota Corollas. And then was able this year to race my dream, which is Formula 1600. And from here, I hope to move up to Formula Atlantic and Indy Lights, and then eventually into what used to be called Indy Cars, now called Kart.
There are primarily men on this circuit you're in, and this must be an issue, or is it an issue?
Well, I think that off the track, obviously, I'm female, but once I put my helmet on, I'm another race car driver out there competing.
There's no stuff going on. There's no...
No behind the scenes, you know,
Go back to the kitchen or anything like that. None of that sort of stuff.
No, at least not that I'm aware of.
What do you think it's going to take for you to be a champion?
Well, I think to be a champion, you need to be very persistent and determined.
I know you're those.
Yeah, and for a driver, myself, there takes a certain amount of aggression as well out on the track.
Yeah,
and yeah, a little bit of killer instinct doesn't hurt.
You have to have that.
Yeah, you got to have a little bit of that. Yeah.
So, you know, what's your formula?
Well, the total formula definitely comes down to persistence, and I think that shows especially with sponsorship because I am 100% sponsored. I don't have a rich family to carry me through to the level that I need to be at, and so as a result, I work pretty hard for my sponsors and in getting additional sponsorship for the bigger budgets that we need every year we move up.
What sort of cross-training things do you do?
Well, it's surprising, and a lot of people I don't think are aware that driving takes a lot of physical endurance and strength, and so as a result I work out at the gym. Ideally I try to get there every day, although I don't always make it, but doing cardio as well as weight training.
If you had to give one tip to people watching our show today, what would you be one tip in terms of them trying to reach their goals?
Well, I think not to lose sight of the end goal. I think it's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day activities of what you're striving for, and I think something that I did every day for 4 years actually was like, well, I went up in the morning and I said, what can I do to get closer to my goal of going racing full time? And I was able to stay pretty focused on that goal, and now here I am 4 years
later. So you visualized it?
I did, yeah.
So you now visualize yourself as an Indy driver?
Yeah, now I visualize myself as an Indy driver.
And I think you're going to get there.
I hope so.
Marybeth is one of the winners that we're going to be looking at in this series in the next few years. So thanks a lot, Marybeth.
Thank you, Jim.
High five.
She is unbelievable. I'm sure we'll see Marybeth Harrison at the top of the race world soon, very soon.
I'm certainly looking forward to that. And when we come back, we'll drop in on Jim and Robert and see how, well, actually, I wonder how Jim is holding up.
I can't wait to see this.
Stick around. We'll be right back.
Just like anything, you got to wear your competition down. I want to be the hardest working man out here.
So this is part of your working day?
Yeah, because if you beat me, you got to steal it from me. You can't just get it like that. Especially here in the weight room, it's very important. What you're doing here, if you can apply it here and you do it on the track, it's a greater thing. You want to be able to, each move that you're doing on the track, you have the strength, the stability to make those moves. And this helps enhance your strength, the power, the drive force when you get out of the blocks, all these things. It's very important that all athletes, all sport, do some kind of weight training.
What's this?
Well, this,
I know what it is, but what is it?
For stability. So when you're in your sprinting, near the end of the finish race, you must be able to have stability. Even when you're coming out of the blocks, you need stability for anything that you want to do anyway, any sport. So this helps with your stability. So what you actually do, you lift your body weight up, because you're using your whole body weight, right? Okay. You lift your body weight up, leg up, slowly extend it out, back in and back down. You're also building your abdomen, right? So,
something I could probably work on.
Yeah.
So will
you give it a try.
Do this while I trip on it?
All right. So Doc is on that side,
hands
right?
This way?
So hands there. You lift your body up.
Push your that holds your muscles in?
Everything. You just lift up and stay there. All right. Knee up. Extend out. Back in. Knee in. And back down. Straight down underneath you. Same thing. Up again. So you try to do 6 of those.
So how long do you actually do this a day?
Definitely, when you get up at 5:25, what you want to do is come here, warm up on here, spend 5
What's 5:25? 5:25?
5:25 a.m.
a.m. in the morning? That's when your day starts?
Breakfast at 6, here by 6:05.
And this is good for what?
Right now, it's to warm the muscles up before you start doing heavy weights and stuff.
5 days a week?
6 days a week.
6 days a week. We did 1 day off?
Yeah, this is the job.
Okay, how long would this last normally?
I usually go 5 minutes. I hate jogging. All sprinters hate jogging.
You're just doing this to wear me down, aren't you?
Yes, baby. It's just like anything, you got to wear your competition down. I want to be the hardest working man out here.
So this is part of your working day?
Yeah, because if you beat me, you got to steal it from me. You can't just get it like that.
He's only setting us up for the big challenge.
I don't know who's setting who up.
Hey, no, Robert has Jim right where he wants him.
I'm sure he does. Well, recently I had a chance to sit down and chat with Vancouver Grizzlies head coach Brian Hill.
I think as a pro coach, you can only get involved in a professional athlete's life to a certain extent, but I think the main thing is just to try and let them know that you are there for them more than just as their coach. If they have a problem, if there's something they ever want to talk to you about, that you do care about them as a person. And I think that's something that comes across. I don't think you can hide that from today's athlete. They know whether you know what you're talking about as a coach, and they know whether you genuinely do care about them as an individual or not.
Do you think some of them perhaps have too much pressure these days?
Well, I think pressure is part of the job, and I don't think the pressure of a professional athlete is any greater than the pressure of a CEO of a major corporation or somebody in the political world. The great athletes, pressure drives them. I think they thrive on it. They love the pressure and the opportunity to perform well under pressure in front of a lot of people.
Thank you very much. I'm psyched.
Thanks, Charmaine. The pleasure was mine.
You might think this is a normal sporting goods store, but in fact, this is in Planet Superstar, and they have a track, would you believe, running right through the middle of the store. And this is where all the action is going to happen. I'm going to race Robert Esmie. We've trained with him, we've talked with him, and little me is going up against a world-class athlete, so this should be fun. Stay with us.
Well, he looks pumped up and ready to go.
He sure does, but before we get to the big race, we're heading up to the village of Whistler, where I had a chance to have some fun with my good buddy, Ross Rebagliati.
Let's have a look.
Sets it down a bit, but doesn't scrub too much speed.
Well, he's not holding
left
back.
to go.
Oh, and this time, Ross Rebagliati of Whistler, British Columbia takes over the lead.
I'm with Ross Rebagliati, Olympic gold medalist here on Sports Star Challenge, and Ross, there's a pile of questions that a lot of us want to know the answer to. First for me is, how's the training going this fall?
Actually, I just came back from Mountain Head. I spent 3 weeks down there, and training is going as good as ever, so really looking forward to hitting the slopes and getting underway.
I'll bet you are looking forward because, you know, with the gold medal, you've got to be looked at as a competitor in any race that you enter. Are you going to be able to keep that kind of pace up this year?
Yeah, definitely. This year, a lot of people are going to want to, tag me out there on the race hill, but I'm looking forward to it, and I feel super strong right now, so shouldn't be a problem.
How's your life changed now you got the gold medal?
Well, other than the odd fan here and there, it's been pretty much the same. Hang out with the same people, do the same things, and enjoy myself the way it ought to be enjoyed. So I'm pretty happy.
Well, how's it going on the sponsorship side? I know that's an important thing for any racer to be able to afford to ride.
Exactly. Sponsorship's good. Roots is there for me. Brico stepped up to the plate. Sony's helping out with a compilation CD that they let me put together. It's coming out middle of November too.
Watch out for that.
Yeah.
You are one of my heroes in terms of snowboarding, obviously. And is there any chance you can teach an old dog some new tricks and teach me how to race?
I don't know, Steve. You know what they say. Yeah, I think you're in luck.
Okay,
Yeah.
This winter,
yeah,
you guys got to catch us. Ross Rebagliati, Steve Podborski, head-to-head on Sports Star Challenge. Check it out. The stage is set.
That's right. Our challenger is finally going to take on Olympic gold medalist Robert Esmie. Hey, I was an Olympic sprinter. I wouldn't even take on Robert Esmie if I was paid to do it.
This is exciting, Charmaine. Sure. Let's get to the race.
Yeah. I had 8 hours of sleep last night, and I'm ready.
I had 1 hour, so I'm really ready.
On your mark.
I might be out of my mind. Now that it comes right down to it, I'm beginning to question the wisdom of challenging an Olympic gold medal sprinter. When you watch track and field on television, it looks easy. That's because everyone on the track is highly trained and ready to compete.
Set.
Sure, I've been running since I was a kid, but talking to Robert Esmie, I realized this is one serious sport, and the men and women in it are serious. Just how fast is a professional athlete who trains 8 hours a day, 6 days a week? I'm going to find out.
job, man. I'll see you next year.
Good job, Jim. What was that like?
Well, it was speed. It was like a jet plane beside me.
What was the most impressive thing about training and racing with Robert?
I think it's the discipline he has. This guy works hard. He never gives up. He keeps going for his goal, and as you can see, he can do it. He can burn up the track.
How are the hamstrings after that?
They're fine, a little sore, but we'll just stretch and we'll be back.
Thanks, Jim. We're very impressed.
You're a good sport, Jim. And thank you for joining us this week on Sports Star Challenge.
For Charmaine Crooks, I'm Steve Podborski. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Vehicles supplied by Rent-A-Wreck Tawasin and Beach Grove Auto Sales. GT Bicycles and Accessories supplied by John Henry the Bicycle Man, Surrey Cycle Path, and Steveston Cycle. Sports shoes and rackets supplied by Rackets and Runners. Fitness facilities by Fitwell's Family Fitness Centers.